Sounds like you're snoring. Hey, Ron. All rise.
Where am I?
You're in church. Good morning and welcome to Mass for April 25th, 2021. Please be seated.
Yeah, go ahead and sit down.
And now a reading from the book of Bro, according to Teddy Roosevelt. Nut punches are off limits unless for severe disciplinary action.
Oh, boy.
A bro must always leave a space between urinals.
Isn't that awkward?
The bro code is never wrong. And finally, and this is big, he who smelt it dealt it. This has been a reading from the book of Bro, according to Teddy Roosevelt. Welcome to the show. Hi, Ronnie.
Good morning.
What the heck is going on?
Oh, man. Just waiting for the rain. We're going to get some rain today.
I thought we would wake up to it, honestly.
I thought we would too, but I went out there to get my green screen frame and it was perfectly dry. So, oh, check this out.
Yes.
Vicky was the first one in the room today.
Your wife?
Yes.
Oh, I see it now. There it is. Melanie, you got beat today.
Yeah, Melanie, she did you in.
You know what, Vicky? In order to be the best, you have to beat the best.
She did it today. Yep.
Good morning to Kathy Garcia. We're so happy to have you here with us this morning.
Good morning,
the name of the Ronnie, refresh my memory. The name of the show is what?
Men Are So Smart.
And how many men are in the live chat and how many women?
Yeah, it's 3-0. Yep. Oh, make that 4-0.
There's Tisha. Wow.
Who do you think will be the first man in the room? I'm
Jason.
going to say Randy. Oh, me. No. I'm going to go Rick.
It could be Matt.
Could be Matt.
Okay, who's the first man? How come I
And
don't see how many people? 6 are watching right now.
yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
See, come on, man. Speak up.
So
Who's
there are
gonna be
2
the first
there.
one?
Rick
There he is.
Clemenson. All right.
Rick.
That is great. I find that really awesome that we had all women in the chat room for the open of the show.
It's not often that I'm surrounded by women, so I got to take advantage of it when you can.
Okay, so and Rick Clemenson is with us. Rick, we hope you get better soon. He just went through an incident, and now he's gone through a second incident that's completely unrelated.
Yeah.
Any words you want to share, Ronnie?
No, I got nothing at the minute. At the moment.
We have breaking news.
What?
Yeah, there's breaking news.
What?
There are times we hear about recalls or concerns about a food's ingredients, but we might easily dismiss the news because it doesn't pertain to a product that we buy.
Okay.
Unfortunately, that is not the case for a food that many of us might have in our pantries as I speak. The brand that's arguably been the best known macaroni and cheese for decades is being sued for allegedly using an ingredient that's been shown to harm the health of some children for years, leading to hormonal issues, asthma, and more.
Is that Kraft macaroni and cheese? It's got to be.
Kraft macaroni and cheese allegedly contains chemicals that have been connected with allergies, asthma, obesity, and hormone interference in children. This, according to what some trade websites for the legal profession are reporting about the matter, it's not entirely clear what led two plaintiffs to bring a case against the Kraft Heinz company. Did you know that? Kraft Heinz?
You know what? That was I never remember eating a lot of Kraft macaroni and cheese. My mom made, You remember Velveeta cheese?
Oh, sure. Yeah, we still get that on occasion with the shell
Yeah.
noodles. Hmm.
My mom would just heat up pasta, and then she would melt Velveeta and cover the mac and cheese with, or the cover the
Sounds
macaroni with that.
sounds like that would need a lot of salt, at least to me.
Uh, yeah, yeah. I mean, well, you know, Velveeta. Velveeta is probably quite a bit of sodium anyway.
Hmm. At the moment, the specific circumstances seem unclear. Excuse me, and we need to be careful not to speculate. But Kraft macaroni and cheese, a building block to growing in the Gallagher household when the kids were children. Maybe that's why they turned out the way they did.
Now,
You think
did
maybe Vince might have had some Kraft macaroni and cheese?
oh, he ate some Kraft macaroni. He still does. Yeah, he still does. Now, did anybody, when they prepared the mac and cheese, did they do anything special to it to spice it up a little bit?
Oh, we used to put in tons of extra cheese.
Okay, so you know what my mom did, and I'm guessing this is probably pretty universal. She cut up hot dogs
Yeah.
into little pieces
Hmm.
and put hot dogs in the mac and cheese, to make it nutritious.
Well, yeah, so you get that meat
Is there
with
meat in hot
pasta.
dogs, really? I don't know.
I have to be careful and say allegedly.
Allegedly.
There's meat in hot
Some
dogs.
meat byproducts,
Well,
mostly.
you don't know. So, here's a thought. And you remember we used to do a segment called Cooking with Lou. And I used to give you tips on all kinds of stuff. But
Yes.
one of the things that I've done before with my mac and cheese is I put bacon in it.
Oh, you can't go wrong with that.
Try that,
Yeah.
bitch. Mm-hmm.
David Paisano's here, and he says add oysters.
Wow. Okay.
David, you are not welcome here for dinner. For a pot, he's a lot of fun at a potluck.
Well, in as much as Tisha says never eaten that, Melanie says, say it isn't so. Not Kraft mac and cheese. Yes,
I
Mel.
know. Yep, it
Um,
is. That's a little shocking.
Yeah.
They got lazy. That's what happened.
Hey, you know something? You'll remember that not so long ago, Melanie Dodson joined our live show as a viewer participant.
Yeah.
Well, the reason that happened was normally she would be in church at that time.
Okay.
But because of social distancing, she wasn't able to go to church. So she found our show, loved it. God knows why. Pardon the pun. But she views our show each and every week and participates in the live chat. I'm not telling you news that you don't already know, but here's the deal. Her church is opening back up.
Uh-oh.
Now, as I understand it, there is there is a service that takes place at 9:30 on our Pacific time.
Okay. Which she is. She's specific. She's specific time.
Right. So, as far as I know, she's going to be able to watch while she's getting ready, which seems, I don't know, Mel. Yeah, see, she says because of COVID, I found men are so smart.
Well, I guess we owe a huge debt of gratitude to COVID.
COVID does so much for so many people.
I mean, it's really,
Whoops.
and I heard something yesterday that a lot of people they never want to go back to regular work. So many people that are working from home, and they found that the productivity has not taken a gigantic nosedive like they thought it would. I think most of the people that are adults on the adult program are capable of getting their work done at home, and in fact, in some cases, they get more work done because they're not chatting with friends, they're not taking constant breaks and whatever, going to the lunchroom, and they're right here at home. So when they want something to eat, they go to their kitchen, they bring it back to their workstation, and they just eat. So it's not been that terrible. I know the company that Vicky works for, they had been talking about going back to an office. They actually gave up the office that they had when this whole thing started, and they found another one. But they're like, do we
Oops.
really need an office? I think they posted their best year ever last year, so I don't know. Maybe they just will never go back.
Um, where my wife works, they offered people a while back the opportunity to work from their home. Uh, Teresa, my wife, really enjoys the interaction with her coworkers. So when the opportunity came back up to work back in the office, she decided, well, we decided that she would work 3 days there, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
Hmm.
excuse me, and then work Thursday and Friday from home. And I got to tell you, that is slick.
Yeah,
She's off at 4:45, and then cocktail hour starts at 5, not 6
yeah,
or 6:15 when she normally
right.
gets home after her
Yeah.
commute. So especially on Friday,
Well,
everybody's
and
in a good mood.
what I've noticed is, holy cow, the mileage on Vicky's car has plummeted. I don't. She doesn't hardly put any miles on it all
I
anymore.
know, and we're saving on gas too. Where we live in Antelope, where she works over by you,
Yes,
and so she's
yeah,
got that Greenback Lane commute every single day.
that's quite a drive.
Oh,
That's
it's
got to
awful.
be
Mm-hmm.
15, 16 miles at least.
Yeah, but the thing is, when when I was driving to your house, it was so early in the morning that usually there weren't a lot of
Right.
people on the roads.
And
Um,
also when you leave, it's
r-
still not very trafficy.
exactly.
But
Yeah.
when you hit that commute coming and
Uh
going,
huh.
that's hard.
Yeah,
That's real
especially on
hard.
Fridays.
Yes, yeah, Friday. Well, the commute starts a little earlier in Sacramento on Friday. It starts around 3 on Friday because people start taking off early.
Dave Paisano says a fully functioning work fan home pork processing plant would also be a great work from home Yeah, maybe they could hand them through the screen to you through Zoom, like Ronnie and I used to do. Remember that? Ronnie hands shit to Lou.
Yes.
He'd have one thing over there, and he'd pass it to me, and it would come through the screen, this magic abyss that you see, and it would be something else. We haven't done that in a while. Maybe we should bring that back.
Is it this way I need to go? Is this
No,
the
the other way.
correct way?
Other way.
Oh, the other way. Oh,
Yeah,
good.
there you go.
Here's here's something you might need. I don't know. A
A
remote.
remote? Interesting. Got it.
And oh, turned into a cup of coffee. How
See,
about
now
that?
that's something I can use. A TV remote for your TV is no good. So that worked out well, which is
Hey,
nice.
Table Saw made it here. Table Saw's checking us out.
Good morning, Robert. That's his name, by the way, friends. I won't give you his last name. Good morning, Table Saw 818, and good morning, Matt McGrew as well.
Oh, there's Maddie.
I get 3.5 hours of hour. I'm not sure what that means, man. I'm sorry.
Hours of maybe sleep. Three and
Oh,
a half
sleep.
hours of sleep, maybe.
This just in, Ron.
Yes.
This just in. For many folks out there, one romantic partner is more than enough. Show of hands. But for one committed fraudster, 35 appeared to be the perfect number. 35. I can
No.
hardly remember my own name. According to the Tokyo Reporter, so that gives you some indication here,
So that's right up there.
39-year-old Takashi Mayagawa is suspected of simultaneously having serious relationships with upwards of 30 women with the intention of defrauding them by receiving as many birthday presents as possible.
So
So
it's
far-
all about the presents.
So far, I don't see anything wrong with this. Mayagawa, whose real birthday is November 13th, why that makes any difference, I have no idea, is reportedly a part-time worker from the Kansai region of southern Japan. In his scheme, he is said to have told the different girlfriends fake birth dates in order to receive birthday presents all year long.
That's brilliant.
He reportedly told one woman that his birthday was February 22nd, another that it was in July, and also that it was in April. Police say he's collected approximately 100,000 yen, which translates to $926.
That's a pretty good haul.
From those, for doing what? Nothing. From those three women alone, all in the form of different gifts over the $100,000 or 100,000 yen. It was electronic money. See, that's the best scam right there.
Man, holy cow.
It turns out, let's see. Oh no, that's enough of that story. All right.
Well, and I'll tell you, as a guy who, when I was younger, I never had any money. All my spare money went to gasoline, car insurance,
Car parts.
and car parts. And so, a good time to break up with a girl, if it's not perfect, is right before Christmas, right before her birthday, or right before Valentine's Day.
It always makes them so happy.
Because you don't have to buy any presents.
Right, but imagine the girl, it's like the last thing she cares about is the present. All of a sudden a relationship breaks up, and over what? Cheapness. That right there. For those of you who haven't known Ronnie as long as I have, which is over 40 years.
Yeah.
That's why Ronnie has so much money. That right there.
I do have a first world problem now.
You do. You do. All right. You know what, Ron? It's time for you to be Officer Ron for Crime Beat. We've got Crime Beat today. And this is interactive for you and our audience.
All right.
This coming into the Gallagher Compound News room. An Oklahoma woman, Jason and Sasha, was recently informed that she was charged with felony embezzlement of rented property.
Okay.
So far, so good. McBride reportedly rented Sabrina the Teenage Witch on VHS tape at a now closed video store in Norman, Oklahoma back in 1999. She was charged a year later, March 2000, after it was not returned. Ronnie, you're the DA in this case. You make the call.
Yeah, well, I guess in Oklahoma, maybe they don't have...
Not Arizona. What does it matter? Sorry.
They may not have a lot on their plate there. So like in California, yeah, the DA would just go, nah, not filing on that. Maybe depending on what part of Oklahoma, Tulsa, I think would probably go through with it. But I mean, here's the deal. And they said it was a felony embezzlement. I guess maybe with late charges and stuff, it adds up. But I don't know. I'm not sure you can charge somebody for more than the value of the item itself. So that might have been a $30 DVD or,
VHS tape.
It was a VHS. So it was like $5.99 at the time. Yeah, Walmart. Yeah, they'll be lucky to get their $6 back, and plus it's a business that's out of business. So I think she's going to skate. Her life of crime has just started, though. That's how it starts, by stealing VHS tapes and not returning them. I bet she didn't rewind it either.
She wasn't kind. Oh, it's at this point in the show I should mention to the younger viewers, VHS was a form of recording tape for your
Yes.
TV back when dinosaurs ruled the earth. And
Dinosaurs like us.
yes, and the thing
Yeah.
is, the quirk to those was you could have your wedding reception on one and then forget maybe to label it. And then the next thing you know, you say to yourself, gee, I'd sure like to look at our wedding. And you put it in, and it's the Muhammad Ali fight from 1974.
Right. Or it's like 5 days worth of General Hospital. Or better yet, it's like a Super Bowl. Oh, hey,
Oh, don't start that.
quiet over there.
Let's see.
Oh, Table Saw had Beta.
Wow. Your folks
Yeah,
had
Beta
money.
was, they thought that would be revolutionary.
Yeah,
That was going to be life-changing
it sure was.
because the video quality was a little bit better. Yes,
Paisano weighs in now and says, now there is a business converting old media formats to digital.
that's popular right now.
It's not a lot of work, just kind of time consuming.
Yes. Well, I mean, they have a machine that does everything. You just plop in a DVD or a Blu-ray and a tape. Done. I've also seen where they take photos. They take old photographs and scan them and put them on a DVD. So that's another option.
Whoops, that's not what I wanted. I guess it is.
There's a lot of dogfighting going on in the background here. That's not my stomach growling.
This is the part where in the show my wife and I are watching later, rewatching, and we sit over here and we just go like this to one another.
So we try to feed them early because you can hear them eat throughout the whole house because Buster eats so loudly.
No.
So we try to feed them before the show, but the food gives them the zoomies.
Oh man.
And so then they got to burn those off, and they burn it off by wrestling over there. They think I do enjoy a good wrestling for sure.
Who doesn't?
Not so much dog wrestling.
No.
Dog wrestling probably like my third favorite type of wrestling, but it's good, but not great.
No, I agree with you. All right. Let's see. Melanie says, is Vicky okay?
I'd have to get up and look, but I think that Vicky took off for Thunder Valley.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, that's my
in
guess.
the middle of our show?
Yes. She's listening on the way there.
Oh, okay.
No doubt.
Let's see.
Dog Mania.
Dog Mania 21.
Yeah.
What does UFC stand for? Ultimate Fighting?
Yes.
Ultimate UDF. Ultimate Dog Fighting. Sunday at Sleep Train Arena, downtown Sacramento.
Oh, boy.
Or as they say,
Yeah.
at the Cal Expo.
At the Cal Expo.
Why do they
Yes.
say that?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, it's like the Ohio State. You ever notice that when guys are announcing what?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Ohio State is always the Ohio State. I'm not sure if there's an Ohio State that's not the Ohio State, but they're at the Ohio State.
Hot travel destinations like Hawaii
Oh, I love me some Hawaii.
are facing a massive rental car shortage that's causing outrageously high rental car prices and fully booked fleets.
Ooh.
Okay, so capitalism is always find something that people need and get it to them.
Yep.
Can't be any simpler than that.
Right.
To avoid this shortage and inflated prices, experts are advising travelers to plan ahead. However, some tourists in Hawaii have found a savvier workaround to this rental vehicle shortage? Any ideas at this point in the story?
I'm going to say maybe the employees are renting their personal cars out.
Rent a U-Haul instead. We have seen a considerable uptick in U-Haul rentals from customers who are visiting the islands now. We realize this demand is occurring when tourists are unable to secure a rental car, or they learn that our rental fleet options are more affordable. Most of these tourists are opting for U-Haul's less sizable vehicles, such as its pickup trucks or cargo vans. But now, unsurprisingly, some U-Haul locations have less equipment on hand to serve the locals.
So I've been to Hawaii a number of times.
So have I.
And only a couple times married. 3 times, I think, when I've been married. But I've been there probably at least half a dozen times or more single. And a couple times we went, and this is the first place I ever saw it, was in Hawaii. They had Rent a Wreck, where you would rent an old car,
right,
that maybe had some bumps and bruises on it, and it was greatly reduced. And we didn't care. We just wanted to get from point A to point B. And so as long as it ran, and if it broke down somewhere, they would send out another wrecked car to replace it, no matter where you were in the island. Not that we normally went to Oahu, so you can get from one side to the other pretty quickly. But regardless, that was the way to go back then. One time when Vicky and I went, was it? I think it was when we took the kids. We only rented a car one day, 1 or 2 days. Their bus system over there is so amazing. You can get on a bus and get anywhere you need to go.
Yeah.
And they're not typical bus people like you see, other
Mostly
places.
Tourists.
It's a lot of tourists and a lot of locals.
Oh yeah.
Ride the buses also. They have one of the greatest bus systems I've ever been on there. Reno also, when we go to Hot August Nights, we park our car on like Wednesday and we don't jump in it again until Sunday when we're leaving.
Right.
They have an amazing bus system.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
all right, Ronnie, we're at the middle of the show, the halfway
already?
point. Yeah. So what we should do is stretch a little bit. You have to understand that when you do a show that's an hour long, you got to stretch because you don't want to pull something.
Yeah, this is serious work. Roll your shoulders front and back. Turn your head. That might get stuck. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah. There we go.
Okay, I think I'm ready.
You walk like an Egyptian?
I just did. It's time for Sunday Morning M.A.S.S Mantasy Draft. And I think you'll find this one enjoyable. And this was my brainstorming on this one.
Yes.
Today, with boating season upon us, we will draft nautical terms that sound dirty but aren't. Nautical terms that sound dirty but they're not. Okay, so let's go over to the chat room.
Yeah, so if anybody has any of those, but I have a pretty good list. I think I have the winning team, but I could substitute something from the chat with one of mine.
There's a couple from OK Larry. Hi, good morning, OK.
Hold fast. Abaft the beam. Oh yes, and heave ho. I don't have heave ho. Heave ho is pretty damn good.
Once again, we're going to draft nautical terms that sound dirty, but they're not. So let me get my list up here, Ronnie. Oh, we got to do the old rock, paper, scissors to see this first.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if this is going to work. Maybe this is the best place. Probably up here.
Got to warm this up.
All right, now, I do have psychic ability. Hey, did anybody catch me doing horn psychic?
I did hear that the other day. You were on Pat Walsh's show and did
on
that.
on KFBK here in Sacramento. Um,
Did you do like three of them? Three or four?
four, Ron,
That's
four.
insane. That's, I mean, one is impressive, but to be able to do four, that's
If you,
off the hook.
if you don't already know, I was born with a gift that over the years I have fine-tuned to the point that I can tell you what kind of vehicle you're driving by the sound of the horn honked twice.
Yep.
Now, it's an amazing feat. And I have to tell you, because people say to me, well, what's the trick? What's the secret?
But it doesn't stop there.
No. Because I'm psychic, I usually tell the person something about themselves that they need to know.
Right.
They need to know immediately.
Wait, did you say you're psychic or psycho?
Psycho ability.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And so I'm never wrong.
Not yet.
Well, you know what? That's not true. One week, many years ago, it was a Sunday afternoon. The weather was kind of rainy. And my garage door was open.
Okay.
And a pool of water formed right in front of the refrigerator. And when I stepped into the water and touched the fridge, I got the shock of a lifetime. So much so, it knocked me down. And the next week I went in and tried to perform as the horn psycho, and I couldn't do it. My psychic powers were gone because
That's
of
shocking.
that shock.
That's shocking.
I know.
So you weren't amped at all.
I went to the doctor.
Yeah.
At the time where I worked, they had a terrible health plan. The doctor's advice to me was, you need to recreate that event and shock yourself again. Now, why a doctor would recommend that, I don't know.
Was his name Dr. Vinny Boom Bots?
It was, in fact. Bots Clinic, it was. Here's Dr. Vinny Boom Bots. So anyway, yeah, and I did that because I'm an idiot. And I'm a doctor. Ooh. And
but
so
you know what?
Mm-hmm.
It worked.
It did work.
Because
the next day, my powers were back.
You were spot on.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the things you were telling people that they didn't even realize.
I know. And one was of financial gain.
Huge.
$100. A $100 bill under a seat.
Yep. Yeah, that's big. That's big. Well,
let's rock, paper, scissors. Oh, first we got to go to our which mouse do I use here? This one. What are people saying? Matt McGrew says you were outstanding, Lou. Thank you, Maddie. Thank you for listening. One from Ohio. That's true.
Yeah, you did one from way out of state.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's even worse now, Lou. What does that mean? I'm not sure. Okay. I got to get the whole reason I told you the psychic thing is I got to get inside Ron's head. Here we go.
Ooh.
Oh,
my
I
thumb
see
just
it.
cracked.
I see it. I know what it is. I will plan accordingly. And closing eyes.
Okay.
Here we go.
I'm going to get my handwritten shot here. Okay.
And 1, 2, 3, shoot.
Oh.
Damn it.
Okay. Okay. I know.
1, 2, 3, shoot.
Oh.
I'm going to defer and go second.
Oh. Okay. What? That might be a good strategy in this one because I'm not sure there's a clear winner. But my number one pick?
Yes.
It's the little access hole that lets people get up into the crow's nest, and it's called Lubber's Hole.
Okay.
Lubbers hole. Lubber's Hole.
You played right into my hand. I have what I believe to be one of the strongest teams I've had in weeks. But you will be the judge. The first thing I'm going to go with is the obvious, which I can't believe. In fact, I thought you were going to say it, but you didn't. A high deck on the aft superstructure of a ship is called the poop deck.
Poop deck. Yep.
Sounds dirty, but isn't.
Very innocent.
And then my second pick, Ronnie, comes from the British Royal Navy in the 18th century, who had been between 1 and 2 years of experience at sea, is called ordinary seaman.
How do you spell that?
Doesn't matter. Okay, back to you for 2 picks.
Okay. So I had poop deck on my list, of course. So when one boat comes alongside of another one, they call that abreast. So I'm going to go with abreast.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And then your final pick will be?
And then, boy, I got some good ones here. I think the one that sounds the dirtiest, but it's not, is an item that's used to lift heavy things with low effort, and it's called a snatch block. Thank you.
You got a laugh out of me with that one. All right. And so,
the snatch block. Thank you. Okay.
All right. I know what it has to be. I have a list of many, but I know what it has to be in this case to round out my team.
Okay.
To create a watertight seal between structures is the definition of this word. And I pick it just to say it on the air. Caulk.
Got it.
Okay,
you
Ronnie.
Said cock.
So, no,
you said
cock.
Caulk.
Caulk, not cock.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Caulk.
Caulk. Yeah.
Yeah, so you got it now. What is it?
Caulk.
Okay. Caulk.
Caulking.
I didn't say ing.
Not cock ring.
No. Just caulk.
Caulking. There's no R.
Yeah.
No. And there's a U in there.
There is no U in team.
So let me just refresh everybody here.
Okay.
My team is lubber's hole, abreast, and snatch block. I think I've got all 3 bases covered there. And then Lou's is poop deck, ordinary seaman, and caulk. Okay, so let's see it in here.
Really?
Lou for the win. Okay, well, there's
Mel
one.
is absolutely right. Mel knows best. That was a TV show, wasn't it? His father knows best.
You know, I think she's making up for some lost time. She used to vote for me. I could have had the worst team. She would just always vote for me. Thank you, Melanie. But I see what you're doing. It's okay. I get it. I'm fine with it.
She's left the dark side.
It's a sympathy vote is what it is, because that may be the last vote you get. Yes, Jason is saying I got it. Thank you, Jason. Jason is very rarely wrong. So
Rick says Ronnie.
Rick gave me one. Thank you, Rick.
Let me ask you a question, okay?
Okay.
Viewers, have you not thought about my cock?
Is it paintable?
Sure.
When it dries, you can paint on it?
Yeah, sure you can.
All right. Well, that's the kind you're looking for.
And then, remember, I had poop deck.
Okay, Larry gave me a point also. Thank you, Larry. Appreciate that. So it's 3-1 right now.
I'm not going to take it personally.
No, you had a good team.
You know what? I put my cock out there,
And your semen was right before your cock. So the ordinary semen. Yeah.
Hi, Sakar. You're
Oh,
catching us at
Scar's
a
here.
good time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what did you used to
This
say on a
box
ship?
has
What did you say on a ship? I got to go to the poop deck. David Paisano says, but your cock has ordinary semen, so
he's not wrong. Yeah, he's not wrong.
these are nautical terms that sound dirty, but they're not.
Tisha gave me a nod.
Oh,
She's
Tisha, you
throwing
should
me
be
a vote.
ashamed. Ashamed. Maddie, there
Oh,
you go.
Maddie gave you
The
one.
sensible one in the McGrew family.
So there's some tension between the two McGrews there.
Evidently.
I don't know.
Sakar says, jumped in at a great time. Yeah, you did.
Yes.
Okay.
Maddie, you may be making your own dinner tonight. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah. All right, we have how many people are 16 in the chat room? Let's get a few more votes.
Oh, Vicky says me with Snatch Block. I win with Snatch Block.
I knew that was a good one.
That is a good one.
I did not see that one in my research.
Oh yeah.
Because I probably would have snatched it.
Yeah, that is a good one.
Yeah. Can we once again go through review before we close out the voting?
Yeah, it's 5-2. I'll go over the teams real quick. These
Please.
are nautical terms that sound dirty, but they're not.
Yeah.
My team is Lubber's Hole, Abreast, and Snatch Block, which seems to be a crowd favorite.
It does, and I can see why, but really you don't back that up.
Lou's team, he went for the kill shot right up front.
Mm-hmm.
He went with Poop Deck,
Mm-hmm.
Old Seaman,
Mm-hmm.
and Caulk. Caulk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got cock, people.
Yeah. David Paisano points out you don't want your cock in a man overboard.
I thought about man overboard, but cock.
I think that's.
It sounds dirty, but it isn't.
Did you ever go to Home Depot and ask the dude, where do you keep your cock?
Aisle 12, B.
Right next to the ordinary seaman.
And the plywood. All right, my back.
Sakar says that I win with Snatch Block. Thank you.
All right, that
was a dark horse.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's personal.
I thought Lubber's Hole was going to be my dirtiest, but everyone seems to like my third pick, which was Snatch Block. So
Robert Tableside 818 says Lou for the win.
Okay.
Paisano retracted a message. That doesn't happen often. I don't know what it was. Snatch Block. Snatch Block should be number 1, he said.
He points out the obvious now. Yeah.
All right. Well, should I concede?
I think it's time to give your concession speech. It's 6-3. So thank you. I'll put on the winner's hat.
Well, it used to be a trophy, but I guess the budget's been cut.
It's a beer koozie.
Where did the name koozie come from?
I don't know. That's another, that'll maybe be Mantasy draft next week. Just weird words that mean things that we all know what they mean, but where did they come from?
You know
koozie.
What? I thought of what next week's going to be, and now I forget. I already know, though.
Uh-oh.
Crap. Oh, well. Okay, I concede. You are the winner this week. You're victorious in the Mantasy draft.
Thank you. I'm king of the world. Thank you.
I thought I was going to win that.
You had a pretty decent team. Obviously, Snatch Block. I could have just gone with one pick, and I think I would have won.
Well, you know what? Let me see what else I had in here. Bulkhead.
Yeah. Well, you know what they call the propeller? That's the screw.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
So, yeah, that was on one of mine.
I could have picked Jackstaff.
I saw that one too. How about
Harden Up?
What about bilge pump? That's a word. That's a nautical term.
I also had limber hole.
I had porthole. There's a
All
lot of
right.
holes on boats, isn't
I
there?
I know. I know. A lot of them. All right, moving into today advice for men. We have toxic behaviors that push people away.
Oh, I know a few myself.
Okay. Well, see if you agree here.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, this is all rolls into one. Taking everything personally.
Ooh.
It can be draining to be around someone who thinks everything that happens is about them. While you definitely want to accept constructive feedback and desire some affirmation, you must keep outside opinions in perspective. You can't get too high from the praise of others, and you can't get too low from criticism of others. Also, events in life are usually just that, events, not referendums on your worth as a person. Avoid jumping to conclusions. I think that you can normally tell what kind of person a person is by whether they ask you about your day.
True. Um, I I don't know. Some people, and that's just one of those. It is a toxic habit that people get into,
You
and
should avoid it.
yeah, it's
All
just
right.
kind of nasty.
Next up on our list, acting like you're always the victim,
Oh,
especially on social media. Believing you are a victim implies that you have no power to exert and no power over the direction of your life. Your problems are endless, and your complaints take away your power to do anything about them. While there are many aspects of our lives that we can't control, the negative and helpless attitude you have is controlling your mentality of taking action and stopping your progress of moving forward.
and like you were saying, I see that so much on social media. I have blocked people because of that. Everything they post is very negative and just I don't know, Debbie Downer-ish, and I can't deal with that. I mean, I can watch the news and see all that stuff I want on the news. So
And you know, if I could speak to that victimized kind of a thing, don't forget that in this wonderful, wonderful world in which we live, that when you go on a job interview and you're a candidate to be hired, what do you think? You think that maybe that employer might check you out on social media? I guarantee you about 85% of hiring people do that. And if they
yes,
see all this playing victim role or anything along those same lines, fishing for compliments, that kind of thing, ain't going to happen. Yeah, it's going to come back to haunt you.
so I have a friend that applied for a job with Sacramento County, which is where I'm employed. And he had his interview and they went through his background and everything. And I told him, dude, scrub your social media because they are definitely going to look at it. Scrub it. If
I
you
don't
put
make this
anything
stuff
on,
up.
yeah, if you put anything on there that is questionable at all,
Politically,
yeah, politically,
socially,
don't post pictures of tons of guns. Um, keep it very generic. Pictures of flowers is okay, not too many. Uh, you know, but yeah, you have to scrub your social media if you're going for an important job because they do look. I think social media probably says as much about a person as anything else. Unwittingly, they disclose things about their true self, and that's where you're going to find all those little gems.
we're warning you. Next up on our list of toxic behaviors that push people away, needing constant validation. Few things in the world are more paralyzing and defeating than attaching your worth to what others think of you. These are people who get caught up in trying to prove their worth over and over and over and constantly want to win over everyone around them. Although the way others matters perceive us to an extent, your entire well-being isn't based solely on those opinions. How you feel about yourself is a much larger factor than we give it credit for. Make an effort to take time to grow up as a person. Find a new hobby. Unplug from the online world. Master a skill, etc.
I've got a pretty close friend who has absolutely 100% gotten off of Facebook and Reddit and Twitter. And he seems pretty dang happy because there's a lot of that, especially on Facebook, it seems like. So I would recommend every once in a while just taking a 1 or 2 week break and really enjoying the world as it is.
Well, if I could speak to that for a second, do I really need to know that you got shot 2 of the vaccination? I didn't really need when you got shot 1. And
Yeah.
now I'm going to see am I supposed to validate you?
Right.
What are you trying to prove?
One of my Facebook friends last night posted, I just got my first shot. The waitress is on her way with my second.
That's the shot I'm going to get.
Yeah.
Next up on our list of toxic behaviors that push people away, obsessive negative thinking. Boy, is this something that I am working on, Ronnie.
Yeah.
You know personally, the hiring process in radio.
Yes.
And I won't go into that. But I will tell you that I'm trying, there's a position that I've applied for, and I'm trying to keep a very positive attitude about this. And it's easy to slip into that abyss of negativity, but I'm trying to avoid that. How tough is it to be around people who ruminate and speak incessantly about the terrible things that could happen and have happened, the scorns they've suffered, and the unfairness of life? It's incredibly draining.
Yep.
They won't seek to discover lessons in what's happening or take a positive view of things. It's not a terrible thing to be pessimistic, but it doesn't need to be a permanent negative perspective on everything in existence. It's a mindset, and you can always change your mindset. As I said, that's what I'm trying to do right now.
So I tend to play devil's advocate quite a bit. If somebody gives me a situation, I try to go through and see where it's going to end up. And a lot of times I will tell them, you know what, that plan has a lot of holes in it and there is a lot of room for failure. So, and if nothing else, just to help them maybe head off some of the mistakes that they might make in whether it's opening a business or going for a new position or changing careers. Boy, I have one friend that I worked with at Carmichael Honda, and he's a little bit negative sometimes. And he worked at a different Honda shop when Carmichael got bought out by the M.A.S.S. He went to a different Honda shop and he was not happy there. And I think a lot of it was the people weren't happy with him because he is a little bit of a Debbie Downer, and he's always he's Eeyore.
Oh, it'll never work. We're doomed.
It'll never work. And so he went to work for still at the Roseville Auto Mall, but for a different dealership. I don't think he's any happier. I don't know. When I talk to him on the phone, he goes, "Oh, it's so much better," but I can tell in his voice it's not. And I told him, be careful because the grass on the other side is the same as the grass on this side in most instances.
It ain't
So,
always greener.
yeah. So I think we all know those people.
All right, next up. Whoops, where did it go? Oh, here it is. Lack of emotional self control. Let's find out more.
Oh, I hate that.
Just as tough to handle are those who explode in anger and tears over the smallest hiccup or problem. There's no crying in workplace. It's not the grocery store clerk's fault. The line is so long. This happened to me yesterday at McDonald's. Or no, Friday at McDonald's. It took me 30 minutes to go through the drive-thru at 10 minutes to noon. 30 minutes out of my life. But you know what? I could have got all fired up and been honking my horn, and what good is it going to do?
Does nothing.
My job was to go and get lunch for my wife and I.
Right.
And I couldn't speed the line up. There's nothing I can do.
Right.
If you are prone to regular emotional outbursts, you may want to consider outside assistance. If it's not that severe, just seek to keep the proper perspective on small things that do not go as planned.
Well, I'll also tell you that if you're prone to these emotional outbursts, prepare to see one on YouTube because everybody is just waiting for someone like that
To go viral.
Waiting for an emotional outburst at a McDonald's where they absolutely lose their cool. There's one video that I see endlessly, and it's a woman walking up to some chicken sandwich place
Oh, yeah.
and screaming, "Who made this?
Mm-hmm.
Who made this?" Because obviously it wasn't made correctly. You know what? All you have to do is take it back up there and say, "There's something wrong with this." They'll give you a new one. You don't have to start pointing fingers and screaming at the top of your lungs.
All right, we'll wrap with this one, Ronnie. Being envious of everyone else. Envy is the art of counting someone else's blessings instead of your own. There is absolutely nothing to be gained by engaging in it. Do not buy into the advertisements that claim everyone else is doing or getting this, so you are a failure if you aren't in the same position. You know, we're not all Kardashians.
Thank God.
Thank God. All right, that brings us to the conclusion of another grueling 1 hour workday. I'm exhausted.
I got to take a break. I might take a nap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a nap is in my
After I get break, I got to break down my studio now, though.
Okay, let me get to our page and let's check our chat.
You know what? If you're still in the room, we would so appreciate a thumbs up.
Yeah.
And if you haven't already subscribed, just hit the subscribe button. Doesn't cost anything.
Robert, Table Saw 818 says, it's sad how fragile people are becoming.
Yep.
Boy, is that for sure. Yeah.
Yep.
Bruce or...
Well, and I will tell you, we're talking about envy. Envy can be a little bit healthy in small doses. If you envy somebody and you better your life to get something that you want, then envy has an upside also. But too much envy is crippling.
Okay. All right. Ooh. What's happening? We're in delay.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Well, Jason says good show. Table Saw says great show. Thank you, guys. It would not be a good show without our audience input.
Without the live chat. That's what I tell people. Our show is nothing if it's not about our people in the live chat. We just so enjoy your interaction.
Absolutely.
You know what? Yep. Everybody's exiting without liking. We have 10 likes and 1 dislike right now.
What the hell, people?
I
even made the dog stop fighting for this.
Yeah. And I put pants on. So there's that. Fun show, boys.
Thank you, Melanie.
Thank you, Mel. Matt McGrew, yes, this was a great show. Lots to talk about today, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we breached many subjects, and some of them sounded dirty, but they weren't.
Not at all.
No. No. So,
I'm going to take my poop hole. I'm
poop
going to
deck.
take my
Ordinary semen.
ordinary semen, and I'm going to take my cock and go home.
I've got my own cock. It's out in the garage.
Do you? Is
Yeah.
that where you keep yours? I thought you kept yours in a drawer by the bed.
No, it's on a shelf in the garage. I do keep one tube always loaded in a cock gun. So
You cock your gun?
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
I've got a gun specifically made for cock.
Mm-hmm. Matt McGrew says, love all the topics. Well, thank you. We go to great lengths to find you stuff that we think you'll find interesting or funny.
We spend hours in pre-production going over this stuff.
You have no idea.
It's a 1 hour show, hours and hours of pre-production.
Yeah.
And now we'll do post-production afterwards.
Right.
At least probably an hour of post-production.
Rick Clemenson says, always the best show on YouTube.
Thank you, Rick.
We do appreciate that. We are the best show that nobody sees.
Yep.
Looking for a few more likes on this. Thumbs up, please. 14 watching now. We're at 11. Have a great day, says Melanie. Thank you very much, Melanie. You have a great show, too. I mean, a great day. Unless you're starting a show today, and then have a great show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never know.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. Subscribe to the channel, please. We would greatly appreciate that. Our email address, they've gone by, but we'll give them to you one more time. Mine is Lou, L-O-U, at menarososmart.com.
Mine is Ronnie, Ronnie, at menarososmart.com.
Be sure and go to our Facebook page. That is Men Are So Smart. We're also on Twitter as well, and every social media source that there is. I think that does it for us. We're off to have and enjoy what might be a rainy Sunday afternoon here in Sacramento, California.
And possibly in Talladega also.
Not good. Okay, I'm Lou Gallagher.
Corvette Ronnie.
And we will see you on the next Men Are So Smart. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.